What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Left Hand Backhand. I'm your host, Michael, joined as always with Lincoln. How's it going?
Going great. We got 4th of July tomorrow, which is why we're recording the day earlier.
Yep.
We got a tournament, a Disc Golf Pro Tour tournament to recap. I played a tournament over the weekend.
Yeah.
And we got some exciting stuff coming up in just the general world of disc golf. So should be a fun pod.
Yeah. We'll just get straight into it with the Preserve. Is it Preserve Championship or just the Preserve? Preserve Championship.
Yep, the Preserve Championship. I don't like that as well, not as much, but just like having a name like the Preserve is like you can just say the Preserve and you know what you're talking about. I think that's strong enough.
It's smooth. Yeah, I like it too. We'll just go over the top 10 real quick. So Ricky Wysocki took it down, shooting a 37 down, kind of clear and far away from second place. We had Cole Redolin, Calvin Heimberg tying, Eagle McMahon fourth, Garrett Gurthey, James Proctor tied for fifth, and then Andrew Presnell, Alden Harris, James Conrad tied for seventh, and then Anthony Barella and Gannon Burr to finish out the top 10. So, kind of no one out of the ordinary per se, but some good scores shot out there, kind of exciting. But Ricky just ran away with it for sure. And then on
kind of interesting too, watching the Jomez coverage. It didn't feel like he was running away with it because it felt like Calvin was right there, but Calvin just choked and missed a bunch of putts. Cole Redolin popped off and shot minus 15 that third round.
Yeah.
So Ricky won by 5
over the second place.
But he did eagle the last hole. So
he went birdie, eagle to finish it out.
Right. So if he didn't do that, it would have been a lot closer. And it kind of almost was moving towards that direction, but good to see Rick come back and win it, even though he had some flare up with his wrist and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, just looking at the scorecard, Ricky had 1 bogey, Cole had none, Calvin had 1 bogey, Eagle had none, Garrett Gurthey had 1, James Proctor still shot an 8 down with a double and 2 bogeys. Just not a lot of it's gray for the PDGA scorecards, but not a lot of red scores on their scorecards for sure. So it's I don't want to say it's a soft course because it's still difficult, but it is not it's a challenging course, but I wouldn't say it's a difficult or like stressful course, you know?
Yeah, there are a few holes where you do have to especially focus. Like I can't remember what number it is, but the short par 4, that's a tight tunnel, and then it doglegs hard, like almost 90 degrees to the right, and it's another tight tunnel.
Yeah,
like that one always picks up a bunch of bogeys or worse.
Yeah,
birdie's rare on that hole. That's like one of like 2 or 3 where you see higher numbers.
Trouble. Yeah. So the leaders did a good job for sure. And then on the FPO side, you had Katrina Allen taking it down over Kristen Tatar by 3 strokes. Holland Handley finished in 3rd. Missy Gannon, Kat Murch, Ella Hansen tied at 4th. And then Paige Pierce, Haley King, 7th. Val Mandahano, 9th. And Jen Allen, 10th. So
good to see Val back on the board.
Yeah, star-studded leaderboard. But did you watch any of their Jomez coverage at all?
No, not yet.
Oh my God. It was, so I was following it on PDGA Live, and then I went back and watched it. Katrina Allen went into the round with a 3-stroke lead, and on hole 9, it was tied. So I was like, oh my God, Kristen
Okay.
just made up 3 strokes in 9 holes.
9 holes.
Not necessarily she's going to run away with it, but I was like, this is her first time kind
She's
of
going to come back.
coming back and then putting pressure on Katrina. I think if it was anyone
Yeah,
else,
she's typically won with the lead from like outright.
Outright, yes. Like everyone has to try catch her, and she makes no mistakes. I would say if it was almost anyone else but Katrina, maybe a Paige or like a Haley, Kristen's pressure on that hole, like on the 9th hole, would make some people crumble. Like being chased down that quickly in the final round would make them just like add that extra pressure. But Kristen just kind of gave it away on hole 11, I believe. The short, big retaining wall island hole.
Oh yeah,
a lot of people.
Par 5 is 9 the iconic over the water par 3. Is that right?
Yes.
The one that everybody posts Instagram videos on.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, and then 10 is the par 5, and then 11 is the giant retaining wall plays to an old golf green.
Yep.
And it actually is a little bit more elevated than it looks on camera.
Yes.
In terms of you're throwing a shot that has to get all the way to the basket, sit softly, but get uphill at the same time.
Yeah. Not easy to do. But she just early released it into the water and then went on to bogey. Then like the next hole, par and bogey. So she was right into it and then gave it right back away to finish out. So,
well, good for Kat to get back up on the board. There's some off the field stuff, off the course stuff that apparently has been going on, which I don't have enough information to want to dig into it and share opinions on.
Yeah.
But apparently she was very involved in it, and so it kind of was taking an emotional toll on her from what she was saying. So it's kind of good to see her come through and perform at a high level when she's kind of going through some off the field stuff as well.
Yeah, definitely. And it was
impressive.
It was one of those types of weeks where it either makes you focus more and kind of dial it in, or it could have crushed you. And I think it was good to see her stay sharp and actually have like that chip on her shoulder and something to prove, because she is still one of the elite players on the tour. She hasn't shown it so much this year, but it's exciting that she's kind of back and kind of hitting that midpoint of the season, going over to Europe. So a good time to turn your season around, kind of.
Yeah, 100%. A couple other storylines from the preserve. Ricky's round 1. Did you watch Jomez round 1?
I didn't, but I've followed everything. I watched half of it. I think I watched the first 9.
I hope they just post, like, you know how they did with Paul's 18 down round?
Yeah.
I hope they post that with Ricky's first round. Not that it was 18 down, but the man had 2 bogeys and 0 pars.
Yeah. 17 birdies.
He had 16 birdies.
Yeah.
That's insane. So he shot 14 under because of the two bogeys, but like just absolutely ridiculous. And it was just like every hole, it was like, yeah, I just expect him to birdie now. Like the next hole, yeah, I expect him to birdie. Next hole, I expect him to birdie. Insane.
Was
it 14 down or 15 down? Because he eagled hole 18.
It was 15 because he eagled.
15, yeah. Forgot. He eagled hole 18.
Yeah,
so that was, I don't know if that was a course record, 15 down.
I think it is.
It might have been. But then Cole Redolin tied it round 3, which is pretty cool to see too.
Yeah, so he birdie, bogey, birdie, bogey, and then birdied out from 7 through 17, and then got the eagle on 18, which is just
unbelievable,
wild.
Yeah, that's so crazy. So that was cool to see. His wrist was flaring up from his Lyme disease stuff, which you could legitimately actually tell on coverage round 2 and 3. There were definite shots where you're like, that was not a Ricky shot. Like he early released some things. He was trying to overcompensate with certain shots, and you could just tell he was just trying to get the disc out there with a few of the shots. And then, sometimes it looked normal, but you could actually see it within his form, which I thought was kind of surprising to visually see on camera a like small inflammation in his wrist type of thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, props to him for pushing through it and staying within his game plan, because he didn't try to overcompensate in terms of throwing shots that he didn't need to throw. He just was getting his game plan, getting his ducks in a row, and capitalizing when he could.
Yeah. Yeah. And making putts. I mean, that's what you have to do on tour, and especially a course like this where it was almost kind of birdie or die type of course. Yeah. You keep it straight and then make your putts from 20 to 50 feet, and you'll put up good scores. So,
which he actually did miss a number of putts, and the surprising part was that so did Calvin. Coming down the stretch, Calvin was only like a stroke behind him or something like that, with like 6 or 7 to go. And Ricky big putted him on the difficult par 4. I can't remember if it's 12 or 13, but it's the par 4 that goes like through some like trees. You have to pick your gap, and then it goes to the left, and then the basket is like in that stump and it's elevated.
And is that number 6?
Him from like, no, it was on the back 9.
Okay, probably 12.
I'm pretty sure it's 12.
Yeah.
But Ricky made like a solid 50-footer and ran it in, and then Calvin missed it. Maybe 30-footer. Like, it was inside the circle for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And he went on to bogey the next hole, so that was the turning point.
Yeah. So it was just surprising to see Calvin, who's so robotic, just miss some routine putts for him.
Yeah.
Which you just don't expect. But, I mean, it is good to see that he is somewhat human, not just a complete robot all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes me feel bad when he doesn't miss, and I'm like, wow, this is actually like possible. So yeah, crazy. And then you have some other
storylines from the preserve.
Nothing from the preserve. I think it was a good course. It's a good property. I don't know how I feel about the course as a whole. And coming from the West Coast, when you have beautiful, lush, green golf courses, they at least look visually appealing. And then you go to
it's very dry there.
Yeah, and I understand they haven't had like much rain, and I don't know what the irrigation system. I don't think they have one, because like what disc golf course would. It's like I understand you're at the mercy of Mother Nature, but yeah, just like dry grass, no out of bounds, birdie or die type of course. Like, I love how the West Coast golf courses get all the bad end of like, oh, this is terrible, I don't like this, it's just Heiser Fest. Like, this was like the biggest Heiser Fest I've ever seen. There's a few shots that are like you need to, but it's like there's no one throwing an 800-foot roller at Portland Open because there was out of bounds there.
Were there 800-foot rollers at the preserve?
AB did one on the par 5. Yeah, I heard he laid down an 800-foot roller. But just like,
he eagled hole 10 twice.
Yeah,
which he was like one of 3 people all weekend to eagle it, and he did it twice.
Yeah,
but he's also a different animal.
Yeah, 1,158 feet. Like, excuse me, Eagle eagled it as well. Eagle and AB, freaking crazy, dude.
Yeah, nuts, man.
Yeah.
I will say about the course itself. I'm not going to comment on the difficulty of the course because people have their opinions on it. The thing that I do want to comment on is the quality of the setup of the course and like the tournament itself, because the tee pads were beautiful, like very appealing to look at. These nice red turf tee pads that were new, they were kept clean. There was like, it was like manicured around it. Like all the baskets were in good locations where, you know, they utilized as much of the natural course as they could. I just think there were lots of ways that that course has just been set up to be very aesthetically pleasing, minus the lack of rain because it was just very brown.
Yeah.
But like, I think Kale did a really good job with the property. I would love to go play that course. It being extremely difficult for me. I would not be able to shred it like those guys do.
Yeah.
But I just thought it looked good. And I think moving forward, more disc golf courses will start to make their tee pads and their baskets and like gallery placements look like the Preserve did.
Yeah. Well, it's because it's a golf property specifically designed for disc golf. Like right. That's what it is. When you put a temporary disc golf course on a golf property, it's not going to be perfect. And then when you have park style courses that are just disc golf in the woods, you lose the spectator gallery aspect of it, because that's not what they were originally put in, with trees and lined fairways to accommodate for.
Right.
So, yeah.
I just think moving forward, they will have courses in a similar setup in terms of building out beautiful tee pads and trying to, you know, make it feel like it's a bigger event and that like this is a pro tour stop. This isn't just your we're turning our local course into a potentially pro level course. Like this is manicured to be a disc golf, you know, scene.
Yeah, Kale does a good job. He was on the scene. He's been on the scene for a long time. And he sets kind of like that gold standard of what is expected from a property like setup spot. So
I agree.
Cool. And then I think you are kind of involved in an exciting new release coming up.
I am indeed. So as some of you listeners should know and be well aware, we are Trash Panda enthusiasts here on this channel. Jesse is a good friend of mine now. Met him 2 years ago now, and we played a casual round together, and then we met up and played Beaver Ranch, and then we kind of just got to talking, and it kind of just clicked on a human level, and then just started talking about Trash Panda, and now we've become very good friends. And I've been fortunate enough to be involved in Trash Panda's early releases of their discs and their molds, and I guess today's Monday. The week after today, next Monday, is the official drop party for his new mid-range that's being released, and that is the Dune.
Yep.
I've been fortunate enough to throw this disc for a few months now, and Mr. Harris also now has a Dune in his bag.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on the Dune?
I like it. Like you have said it before, and I got to throw it a lot more in the last couple of weeks, and it kind of holds true. It is the faster, longer version of the inner core. And what I mean by that is it's not flippy, but it's not overstable, and it's not understable. It is very
Yep.
neutral. It holds a line. Like I can throw it if I put it on a steeper hyzer line, it's not flipping over at all. Like it's just holding and drifting to the right the entire time. I can throw it hard and flatter, hyzer flip, and it goes straight. And I can throw it with a little bit of Annie, and it will hold and just kind of drift and pan the entire time. So
Mhm.
I think I know what Jesse is wanting to do by making a fully recyclable beginner set, and I can't agree more that this is a perfect beginner mid range to learn on. A lot of people
Yeah.
like to say, get an understable disc, learn how to hyzer flip it to like get those angles, and that's how you get max distance when you're beginning. But I think that only takes you so far. This disc shows you what angle you're throwing it on because it is so neutral in its flight.
It is I think giving a beginner a like super touchy flippy disc is not the correct solution. I think you need to
Yes.
give them something that is truly neutral and not understable and not overstable.
Yeah.
And based on what I know Jesse's doing in terms of the Trash Panda lineup, I think the Dune is fantastic. The one that I have is in fact a touch more stable because this was a earlier run. So based on the other ones that I've thrown and seen thrown, and I think yours is part of that run or the newer run where it is just way more neutral. Mine has a tick of bite to it, and I've had it for several months, and it still has bite to it.
Yeah.
So I got a kind of a sweet run. So therefore, I will be able to bag two of these and have one be my straight to, if I give it a lot of power, I can get a little turn and kind of have it just drift straight. And I can also have one that's just I know it's going to fade a little bit more at the end of it, which I think is, very exciting for me. Just knowing my bag and how often I throw mid ranges, it's not that much. So right now I pretty much only have the Dune in the bag, and it covers a lot of what I need it to.
Yeah.
And I think as a player, grows and learns, they can have one mid range in the bag and throw a hyzer with it. They can throw flat and they can throw an anhyzer with it, and it will accomplish all three shots. So therefore, you don't need a bag. It'll just teach them how to properly throw a disc, which I think is fantastic. So
yeah,
the drop party is next Monday, the 10th. So if you're in the Denver area, get out to Dry Dock. Come
North,
to the launch
Dry Dock
party.
North. Yeah.
Dry Dock North. You'll get 2 dunes, I believe. Yeah, I think so. There's prizes to win. There's a bunch of swag there. For those who enjoy a nice beer, I think they are you get like a free drink or something like that. And there's a bunch of stuff going on, and it's just very exciting to be a part of it. And so I will be working this week to help get that launch party ready to roll, which is
nice.
Exciting to be a part of that.
Yeah, that's super sweet. I know Jesse has been very helpful to you, but also like to us by default, and supports the channel. And so it's awesome that we can get out there, support him, and it's so cool to see what he's doing in the disc golf community. Not single-handedly, but he has a small team, and he's not a giant manufacturer.
And he's kind of making waves with what he is doing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like he's getting people on his side. I don't want to share information I'm not allowed to share, but I know that Lone Star is very supportive of what he's doing. I know that Discraft is very intrigued and interested in doing something moving forward. Yeah. So I don't want to give away things that aren't public knowledge or can't be shared, but I know that those two brands are, very excited about it. I know, from Latitude 64, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Yeah, he and Jesse are super close. Like they talk fairly regularly.
That's cool.
So like Latitude 64 is you know
Yeah.
supportive of it, right? I, it also just doesn't look good for a brand to not be supportive of Trash Panda, but you know having your brand be supportive of
All of disc
trying to
golf.
make disc golf
Yeah.
more sustainable is going to look good
Yeah.
regardless.
Pretty easy message to get behind and support for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. All right. You want to head
So
into some,
that's the Dune drop.
yeah. You want to head into some dealer choices?
Uh, did we want to touch on my 4th of July tournament that I had over the weekend?
Let's save that for the in the bag.
Okay, sounds good.
I think that's a
Well, then
better,
I'll do
like,
my dealer's
yeah.
choice
Yeah.
first, and then we'll jump into yours because I think yours is a little bit more themed than mine.
Yes. Not quite as disc golf related, but it'll work out.
Yeah. Okay. So what I'm doing is called Guess the Disc. And I'm going to give a clue and you're going to make a guess. And then I'll give you another clue and you'll make a guess. And so I'll keep giving you clues until you're able to actually guess what this disc is.
Okay. I'll
Okay.
keep a tally mark.
Yeah, sounds good. First clue is I am a mid-range.
EMAC Truth.
No.
Okay.
The second clue is I am a part of the trilogy lineup.
I wasn't far off. Compass.
That was a pretty good guess. No.
Okay.
The third guess is wait. Sorry.
You can look. It's okay. It's funny because these are probably the mid ranges that I kind of know the most, thankfully. So
yeah, that's good. My brand is located in Finland.
Are you taking? What's it called? What's that other? The one that the trilogy just took up. Is it the Svea?
No.
It's not Castoplast? Well, you'll tell me, but that seems like where Castoplast is.
Yeah, I wouldn't call Castoplast trilogy yet because trilogy is like 3 brands.
Okay.
That's just me. I don't know if they
okay.
are gonna have to call
well,
it
the way you said Finland, I thought they were all in Sweden.
Nope. This brand is in Finland.
Okay.
I have a 2 fade.
The gatekeeper?
No. I'm a speed of 5.
It has a speed of 4. So it's pretty stable. It's not that stable. Your Finland one is just throwing me off. It's not the Verdict that has a little bit more. Is the Barb a mid-range? I don't even know.
The Bard?
Bard?
Yeah, the Bard is a mid-range.
Is that what it is?
It is not. I am thrown by Matty-O regularly. Like, Matty-O is known to throw this disc.
Is this the Trust?
Nope.
What the heck? I just need to go through all the Latitude 64.
The name of my disc is related to a tree. Or the name of the disc is related to a tree.
The Pine is not a mid-range, is it?
Yep.
It is? Is that what it is? Is it the Pine?
Yep.
Whoa.
5402.
Nice. I didn't know
So
he threw
how many
that.
guesses was that?
I'm pretty sure that was my seventh guess. The seventh guess got it.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
Um,
So West Side is located in Finland.
Weird. I had no idea. Like,
Like the brand is in Finland, whereas
yeah,
Latitude's in Sweden.
yeah.
Sweden. Sweden.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I have another one if you want to do another one, or we can move to your in the back.
No, let's do it. Mine's quick. Mine's quick, and then we don't have a long. Well, we'll have a longer in the bag, but mine's pretty quick and easy.
All right, let me pull it up.
The pine. Wow, I've never heard of anyone throwing that one.
Yeah, Mattia throws it pretty
Yeah.
regularly, and
Oh,
that's the disc that I got in the tournament. So that's
oh
why
nice.
that was my disc. All right, my first clue is I'm manufactured by Innova.
Hmm. Corvette.
No.
That would have been a
Second,
very impressive one to get on the first get, because there's about.
it would.
Well, you tricked me probably because it said manufactured by. So that's Infinite and Millennium, which I know none of, but
Mortar, or no,
yeah,
Heiserbomb.
there's half of discs are manufactured by them. So that didn't
Yeah.
narrow it down.
Uh, Second clue is I am a distance driver.
I don't know how I'm getting on the right track right away, but
I know it's really impressive.
is this the groove?
No.
Oh dang, that would have been good.
The third clue is I am considered understable.
Ooh. Okay. Uh, is that a Shrike? Is that understable?
No,
Okay.
it is not the Shrike. The third clue is I am considered a beginner friendly driver.
Oh, I know this one. The Mamba.
No.
What? How is it not the Mamba? Do you know how many Mambas I have pulled out of Expo Park? I think I've had
Uh,
8. I have pulled 8 out of there.
how many times have you been in the water in Expo?
A lot of times. But also there's just a lot of Mamba. There's a lot of Mambas in there.
I've been in twice, and I've seen more Valkyries pulled out of
I
Expo than anything else.
I love Valkyries. I used to have an old like gummy bear champ green one, and this thing was not like a regular, like it was a stable one,
Was it?
but I loved it.
Oh, okay.
It looked like the one
Say,
that Ricky used to use as a roller.
If it was gummy champion, was it
It wasn't gummy.
champion edition?
It just
Was it
looked.
CE?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
The stamp was wiped, so I don't really know.
Gotcha. Well, that was one of the discs that you and I, when we had our underrated, overrated in dealer's choice section, the Valkyrie was a disc that we said was highly underrated. So.
Yeah, it was.
All right, what clue are we on now? What number?
Uh, you have given me 4. I've guessed 4. So
Okay. The third clue is, or the fifth clue is, I have a speed of 11.
is it a Mystere?
No.
Okay, I'm on the end of a page now, so I have a little bit of backup. This is not territory
The
that I know well.
the sixth clue is the company of this disc is located in Utah.
That's different. Um, okay, what are the infinite? Oh, is this the Maya?
It is. Good job.
Yeah. I just do a
Once
quick.
I once I said it was infinite, and the fact that I already said it was an 11 speed is pretty obvious. But
Yeah. I mean, I didn't look it up. I didn't cheat, but
yeah,
I did know
good
that
job.
one because I've never thrown that before.
Yeah,
But my little
me neither. I
cousin's name
wanted
is
to.
no.
Oh, you got a Maya?
Yeah, my little cousin's name is Maya.
You. That's cute.
So she doesn't want
Yeah,
to
I
play
haven't
disc
thrown
golf
one of those
though.
yet. Oh well, she should. She has a disc named after her now.
I know. Ooh, I'll get her that for Christmas. She'll be like, "What am I going to use this for?"
Boom. Get her an iBlend Maya X out. That'd be like $8 or something.
Yeah, yeah. I went through
Good idea.
the dark web of infinite X outs this last weekend just to tickle my
It's so
fancy.
fun.
It's so fun. They have some
Yeah.
nice ones. Okay, so 4th of July is tomorrow for us, but for our listeners, gonna be day of. I'm probably gonna post this tomorrow, um, or they'll listen to it tomorrow, hopefully. So
Yeah.
I want to
If you're
do,
not,
yeah,
shame on you.
it's okay, but I think it'd be fun to do a draft of you get five, I get five of top 4th of July like necessities,
Ooh.
and you can take it like whatever, whatever, however you want to interpret that. But like, what 4th of July things are you picking to be on your team? So, what are your top? And you'll pick what? Do you want first pick, or do you want to be the person that gets to pick two things?
Uh, heads or tails? Which do you want?
I'll go tails.
It is tails, so you get first pick.
Okay. I think it's a pretty for me. My first pick got to be fireworks.
Yep, that's the 101.
Yeah.
I want to just take barbecue, but I feel like that's too broad. Whereas fireworks, like fireworks, is kind of all encompassing. So
Well, the
it is
thing
what it is. But
you could
barbecue is
put.
too broad.
I don't think so.
Just like having a barbecue is
Have a barbecue, and then
okay. Well, then I'll take having a barbecue.
yeah, yeah. What else you got?
Oh, we're snaking this thing.
Yes, yes, yes. Snake.
Okay. Third one, and this might be not a very commonplace thing, but for me, in my childhood, we did this every single year, and we would have a Boy Scouts flag ceremony followed by a breakfast. So I'm saying a morning flag ceremony.
Okay.
Like it's kind of generic, or like not generic. It's kind of
Very particular to you.
not. Yeah, but like you know how like you'll see like the raising of a flag kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Like we would always do that in Scouts, and yes, I am an Eagle Scout, and yes, I am ashamed of it. And
Is that three fingers for eagle, right? Or is that the um Hunger Games?
just a Scout salute.
Yeah, that's fine. It works.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to pick. Oh, drop my pencil. This one's kind of a classic for me, and I'm really sad I didn't get one this year. But the Old Navy flag shirts.
Oh my goodness,
Mm-hmm.
that is a pick.
I know. That's what That's what
That just hit me in
deep,
all the memories.
deep in the feels, right?
Dude.
That's
Every year,
That's what sparked. That's what sparked
those.
this all for me. I was like, dude, I didn't get my flag shirt. I'm like, what else? Like, if I don't get this,
so
like,
funny.
yeah.
The funny thing is, when you're a kid, you need a different shirt every year because you're growing
Yes.
or whatever. But like, we haven't bought a shirt since shoot, I was 19 probably.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
19 or 20. My mom sent me a shirt, and that's the last Old Navy shirt I've had. So,
Yeah.
but that's real funny.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Okay.
And then I'm gonna get a little broad with this, but I'm gonna do like float/parade.
Yep. Good. I'm glad you took that. It's uh not really something that I was involved in,
Yeah.
but it deserves to be drafted.
Yeah.
So therefore, I'm glad that you took it.
Perfect. Good.
Okay. So I have barbecue and flag ceremony.
Yes.
I get 2 more picks right now.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna go with uh I could take so many like very specific things to me growing up, but I'm gonna take baseball.
Okay.
I'm gonna make it broad and say baseball. Like going to a baseball game, watching baseball,
Yeah.
playing softball.
Yeah.
We often did, 4th of July softball games with like a bunch of families and stuff that all the kids and the adults would play. It was a good time.
Yeah. That's a good one.
That's the first one I'm going to take. And then the second one I'm going to take is kind of the post softball game, and it's water balloon fight.
That's a good one. My in-laws do that a lot. I never did it when I was younger, but like it's fun.
My mom's scrapbooks, and I can in my mind see her scrapbook page of like a 4th of July water balloon fight that we did. And I remember playing a softball game before it. So it's like we did the flag ceremony in the morning, breakfast,
Yep.
then we, went home, got our stuff ready, then had 4th of July softball game, water balloon fight, barbecue, fireworks. Like that was like,
Yeah.
we did that like multiple years growing
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
It was great. It was a good time.
Yeah. That's a good one. I also like a tip that I heard for water balloon fights is, and just like the whole process.
Freeze the water balloons.
Freeze them, use them as your like ice in your cooler, and then by the time you're about to fight, they're thawed.
And then you might have a couple ones that aren't thawed, and the person that you're most mad at, you can throw those ones at them.
Exactly.
And then it'll hurt a little bit more.
Yeah.
That's good. Pro tip right there.
This for my 4th pick, I'm gonna pick just beer. Just everyone needs a beer. Lots of beer is going to be consumed tomorrow, spilled.
Yeah,
all of it.
If
You need beer.
Not beer, then some other cocktail mix or
Yeah,
some 4th of July drink kind of thing.
I'm not going to take alcohol in general, but I'll just do that one.
I'd say you should just broaden it out to like drinks.
Nah, beer. This is an American holiday,
beer.
so. Number 5. It's not so much.
Is your final pick?
Yeah. It came to my mind when I was picking my 2 and 3, so I feel like I gotta stick with it. I wouldn't say it's so much related to 4th of July, but I'm gonna have to go with watermelon. It's just like the.
Thank you.
The sign of summer.
Because yes, 100%. It deserves to be taken. I do not like watermelon, so I would have never taken it, but I'm glad that you took it. Like parades and watermelon deserve to be on this.
Oh my god, watermelon is like.
But I'm not into it.
Yeah, it's good. My mother-in-law picks.
I like watermelon like flavored things.
Yeah.
And, like I've had like really good like watermelon like pops, like icicle pops.
Yeah.
What do you call popsicles as a kid? Did you call them popsicles?
Popsicles.
You guys have a different name for them.
No.
Like icy pops, people call them that sometimes.
No, not really.
Or like, what'd you call soda?
I don't think we called it pop. That's a southern thing to call it pop. Is it not?
Weird, because we called it pop.
Yeah, I never like. I'm gonna go get soda. You want one? Hey, toss me soda. Like, it was definitely. I feel like I was more of a soda, not the. And I never call a soda pop. Like that's redundant. You don't need to say something twice. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we called it pop as a kid. Like,
No.
hey, can I have a pop or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
And then other people call it cola. Like, yeah, give me a cola when they're just like referring to just like soda in general. Like,
Give me a
it's
Coke.
weird
Give me a
to
Coke.
know the pocket. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The pockets of what they call the carbonated beverages.
I know. Yeah. Wild.
So good pick with watermelon. That closes out your draft.
Yes.
And so my pick, I can be
Be as
super
broad as you need to.
broad,
Yes.
but I'm gonna be very specific with this concept. The concept is broad, but I'm gonna be very specific with what I'm taking, and that's an American flag cake. And on that cake, strawberries are the red stripes,
Yeah.
whipped cream is the white, and blueberries are the stars.
Yeah. That sounds good.
And inside the cake is a Jello cake. So like you like bake your cake and you poke holes in it, and you pour the Jello, and then you put it
Oh.
like the Jello
In
while
the
it's like
fridge.
the liquid.
Yeah.
You put it in the fridge, let it solidify or do whatever. Then you put your whipped cream on it, and then we would put blueberries up in the top left and
Wow.
try to make it look as much of a cake as possible, or as much of an American flag as possible.
Yeah.
And that's like one of my favorite childhood 4th of July like memories is like, oh yeah, we get the American flag Jello cake, like
Yeah.
super exciting. But so like to make it broad, like 4th of July dessert,
Cakes.
you
Yeah.
do that with like Rice Krispies or whatever, but it's with our American flag Jello cake.
Nice. Perfect.
You could also like you could have taken like American flag food,
Yeah.
stuff like that. But
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a good time.
Yeah. Those are some solid lists. Brought back a lot of memories. It's just kind of fun to just like go with the
Hit you in the
holidays.
nostalgia.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
So,
I like it. You did the Easter one as well.
yeah.
Good.
Yeah, the
I
candies.
appreciate you bringing the
Holidays.
the themes into it. It's good.
Yeah.
Good
Well, for me, it's like I get to relive them all again. Now. Like your kids aren't old, but like you've done them, you've gone through them once with the kids. Like mine, like
We've done the first time.
Yes, exactly. Like this is my first time with him as for 4th of July. So like it makes me more excited for it.
Fireworks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to a parade tomorrow morning, so I'm excited to watch it.
Good time.
And then we on to in the bag because you had a tournament this week, and
yeah, I did.
You can give us a quick rundown what was working, what wasn't working, what you're looking forward to. The space is yours, so you take it away.
Yeah, we'll interject with any questions you have. I played a 2-round, 1-day tournament on Saturday. It's called Freedom Flaps Tournament. They've done it for multiple years at the Dragon Disc Golf Club here in the Denver area. This is at my favorite course in Elizabeth called Prickly Pines. It's like a mountain course vibe without the hike of a mountain course.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's, to me, a lot more fun. There's actually wooded shots that you have to shape specific shots in. So it's my favorite course by far. That's within a half hour of where I live. So
yeah.
I always look forward, or I had been looking forward to playing a tournament here for a long time. And the last 2 years, they canceled the tournament at Prickly Pines because of external factors. The fact that we had it this year, I was very excited for. I played in the MA1 division, so the advanced division, and was tied for first place after round 1 at -3. I had 3 bogeys and 6 birdies in round 1. Missed multiple C1 putts, just was not connecting with the putter. I missed most of them low. Like I was actually dead center, but just missed them a little low.
Yeah.
So obviously they didn't even have a chance because you're not going to make a putt that doesn't get to the chains. And then of course I overcompensated and missed one high on an elevated basket. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm not enjoying the putter right now. But
Yeah.
Played relatively okay round one, even though I made a lot of mistakes, and I was tied for first, so I was fine with it. Then going into round two, uh, started out not making the same mistakes that I made round one, so I corrected a few things.
Mm-hmm.
And then a couple holes that I did execute during round one, I made mistakes on in round two. So it was kind of a frustration of, man, I fixed the mistakes that I made, and now I'm making dumb mistakes on these other holes where I executed it last time. So that was a little bit frustrating just to not put together a complete round. I was -4 going into the final 3 holes.
For the round or total?
For the round. So minus
so you're 7. 7 down.
7 total.
Yeah.
And I had a 2-stroke lead on second place and a 3-stroke lead on third place. We get up to hole 2 because it was a shotgun, so sort of on a different hole.
Yeah.
We get up to hole 2. We have 3 to go, 2, 3, and 4. And on hole 2, it's an uphill tee shot, and then it kind of comes downhill. There's a road on the right that's OB. You have to hit a double mando, and there's trees inside the double mando, and you have to have a shot that shapes to the left but then fades back out to the right. So it's a tough hole for sure. And if you make the mando, it's still not a guaranteed par.
No.
Which is a good challenging hole for sure. I threw round 1, made it through the mando, and got up and down for par. No big deal. I played this hole a ton of times, and in this pin location, which is the long location, it shapes perfectly for a lefty backhand to throw something on a little bit of ante, flex it out through the gap, and have it fade out towards the basket.
Yeah.
Well, I had a blister on my pinky toe. I'm going to make the full excuse. Are you ready for this? I had a blister on my pinky toe, and I felt it like pop.
Yeah.
And I was like, crap, like I need to try to fix this. So I ran from the basket on hole 1 to the tee on hole 2 and hurried and took my shoe off and took my sock off and tried to put a Band-Aid on it to just like get it wrapped up. And then I was third to throw on our card. So the first 2 guys threw, and I was just now, like once it was my time to throw, I was just putting my sock on. So I was already just kind of like stressed and just like my internal clock, even though I'm sure my card wouldn't have cared. Yeah. My internal clock of like, crap, I got to throw. Like, I can't be taking my time. I don't want to be called on anything. I just want to keep the pace going.
Yeah.
So and my foot was very sweaty, grossly. TMI.
Yeah.
So I actually struggled to get my sock back on, and then I put my shoe on, and then I just grabbed my disc and I threw without tying my right shoe. Surprisingly, threw the disc very well. I just had a slight grip lock, and I hit the left mando tree and dropped.
Yeah.
And I did not make the mando.
Yeah.
So I had to go to the drop zone, and I threw a decent shot from there, but clipped a tree and dropped down to like 60 feet or so for my bogey save. Ran it, hit the band and skipped off the top, and then made a decent comeback putt from like 20 feet for the 5.
Yeah. So you went from...
So that was a long way to describe hole 2. But I went from being ahead 2 strokes to second place and third place both parred it. So I went from being a 2-stroke lead in first to tied for first with another guy and a 1-stroke lead on third place.
Yeah.
Going into 2 holes left.
Yes.
With taking double, I was last on the throw on the next tee, so I could kind of see what my competitors did.
Is the next one where it is a straight and it kind of falls off to the right? I've played it once.
No, this
way long ago, so I don't really remember.
There's 2 pin locations. There's one that's that's dead straight, and from the normal tee, it's probably 260.
Is it uphill?
It's like 240, but it's slightly uphill, so it plays like 260, and you have to miss a bunch of trees to get it all the way up there.
Yeah.
And then there's another pin location that's way on the right that you have to try to skip something way over to the right.
Yeah.
We were playing the straight location, but we were also playing from the alternate tee, which is longer.
Okay. I do kind of remember that
from
one.
Like way below.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was last, so I could see the guys in front of me go. The guy who was tied with me for first, he hit a tree and was like 80 feet or so. So I knew he was going to just take a par.
Yeah.
The guy that was one below us parked it, like right underneath the basket. Very difficult shot. And I was like, dang, that's clutch. Like, good shot by him. And then the first round, I was in circle one. I was like 15 or 18 feet. So I birdied it round one, and then grabbed the same disc and threw it again, but didn't get it as flat as I wanted to. And so but I made it through the gap completely. I just kind of stalled out to the right, but I was pin high. So I had like 50 feet or so for birdie.
Yeah.
Knowing that the guy that's in front of me, or the guy that I'm tied with, is going to take a par, and the guy that's behind us is going to take a birdie.
Yes.
So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I got a 50-footer here that I can pass and take a
one strong lead
going into the last hole,
which
is almost an impossible birdie. And if I miss it, I am in a three-way tie. And worst case scenario, we go to a playoff, right?
Yeah.
Gave it a solid run, but I missed it am side and left myself like 25 feet for par. Had to straddle out and thankfully made that. So that was
nice.
That was fine. But so three-way tie going into the last hole. I'm still last on the tee, so I get to see what everybody else is doing. The guy who birdied it put it like way left, and we couldn't tell if he made it through or if he hit a tree, but he, kind of made it a good ways up there. So we're like, he's either, 120 feet and very obstructed and has to just kind of scramble for par, or he has like a, 90-footer for birdie.
Yeah.
The other guy, he hit a tree early, and so he was just going to have to get up and down for par. And so I'm thinking, okay, I've got a chance to,
put it away.
Try to take this tournament right here.
Yeah.
I changed my game plan and went forehand, slight flex with the Brazos, was looking a really good line, and then I just hit how you can either miss it by an inch or a foot, and sometimes you'd rather miss it by a foot than an inch.
Yeah.
Well, I missed it by an inch and dropped, like it hit me straight down, and I kind of cut rolled and had a super difficult approach to try to get up and down. Threw my approach shot to about 25 feet, so not a gimme by any means.
Yeah.
And the other guy that I was tied with 2 holes ago, he put himself like 10 feet for his par putt.
Yeah.
So I knew, okay, I had to make a longer putt. This guy's got a tap in for par.
Yeah.
But we still had the first guy who birdied the hole before.
Yes.
And he had to straddle out from like 75 feet or so. He had to make it underneath this one limb that was sticking out, and it's a downhill putt. And he's like, I'm just going to give it a run. And he just kind of gives it this solid, like big hyzer putt in there. And he absolutely smashed the putt.
Wow.
I'm standing there like 25 feet thinking I have a clutch putt here to send it to a playoff.
Yeah.
And he just passes this thing right in my face. And I'm like,
dang. Yeah.
Good job, guy. Like,
yeah. To go for it like
I
that.
I could have done a lot of things to fix it.
Yeah.
But he just hit a clutch putt.
Yeah.
Like, I doubled hole 2, and that brought everything back into play.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he clutched up and I didn't. So
yeah. Nice. I mean, you got second.
It was a fun tournament. So. I tied for second. Apparently they didn't make a third place trophy for our division.
There's
but they
only
did
10.
for like,
I think there's only 10 or 11 of you, so yeah, they didn't feel like they needed enough or something. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. They made third place trophies for every other division except for
Oh,
MA1, which is kind of weird. Uh, and the guy was cool, and he and I was like, I don't really care for a trophy. If you want it, you can have it. And he's like, I don't care. I'm like, all right, we'll flip for it then.
yeah,
And he called it and flipped for it, and so he got the trophy.
nice. Yeah, I remember
But yeah,
there was a tournament I played in. It was the How the West was won, and I got tied for second.
in
And
Parker,
yeah, and I was just like, let me take a picture with this, and then you can have it. Like, I'll take the third one. I really don't care. Like, just let me take a picture
yeah,
with the second place one, and then I'll be good. So yeah, it's always weird when you tie for a trophy because like, who
yeah,
gets it then? All right. So what
yeah.
discs?
I should have done that. That would have been good. But
Yeah, what discs
and
were
that's where I got the pine.
yeah were really working for you in the tournament because you have a bunch of new ones in your bag,
Yep.
kind
So this
of.
is my first full Lone Star tournament that I played in.
Yep.
Uh, Still putting with inner cores, throwing the copperhead a ton. Any like putter shot that needed stability to it, needed fade, throwing the copperhead. Threw it a lot on forehand hyzers to just like approach shots. So copperhead
Yeah.
was working pretty well for
Cool.
me. Like anytime I needed to scramble, copperhead was doing that for me,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I feel like I did pretty well with it.
Nice.
Threw the Brazos a good amount on some forehands. Uh, first hole, first round, I threw the Mad Cat instead, just because I hadn't, I don't know, warm up. Didn't want to try to force the Brazos
Yeah.
to go as far as I needed to without really warming up. So I threw the Mad Cat, and that was pretty much the only time I threw the Mad Cat all around. But I threw the Brazos a bunch. Threw the Mockingbird a good amount as well. And then I threw the Guadalupe on holes 2 and 3 both rounds.
Okay.
So I got some good usage out of that. Instead of throwing the curl through hole 7's gap that you have to make it was a par 4.
Yeah.
I threw the Mockingbird instead and made it through the gap both times with it, just
Nice.
dead straight, good disc.
Yeah.
And then because the wind was picking up a good amount on us, I really leaned on the Chupacabra a ton.
Nice.
And
Nice.
I didn't want to lean on it because it's a very boring shot to throw a flex forehand with a stupid overstable disc. But I threw it on hole 8, threw it on hole 11, hole 12, not 13. I threw it on hole 16.
Yeah. Just a bunch of times.
Like on multiple holes. Yeah.
It's just good to have
hole 6 as well.
Yeah, it's just good to have that disc that you know is only going to do one thing. I mean, there's a reason the pros love the Captain's Raptor. It's why they love the Fusion X Felons. It's why they love the what's the
Firebird. Firebird.
Yes, like they want the disc to do one thing and one thing only, and know how far it's going to go, and that's what those overstable discs do. Like, is it good for learning form? No, but is it good for being able to trust and you know exactly what it's going to do in all conditions all the time? Of course. So when the pressure situation starts rising, the wind conditions start rising, that disc is going to do the same thing whether the wind is 25 miles per hour, 35, or 12. Like, it's going to do the same thing.
Yep.
So it's good. It's always good to have.
It's a disc that I will not bag unless I'm playing a tournament or a tags round or something like that.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to throw it. Does that make sense? Like, I want to throw a shot that I can actually practice and use more touch and finesse and, throw a backhand turnover instead. Something where I'm getting more practice and feeling like I'm a better disc golfer. But yeah, you're right. When you need those tournament shots and the pressure is rising, throw what is going to work. So
Perfect. Perfect.
Leaned on that a lot. Threw the curl a few times as well. Threw the warbird a couple times. I threw a lot of my discs actually, which was nice.
Good.
Threw the harpoon a few times as well. I lost my V1 harpoon. That was annoying.
Yeah.
And then I also lost my Guadalupe yesterday. It's stuck in a tree on hole 1. And then I lost a softball trying to throw it up to knock it down.
Wow.
And multiple people commented on my post on the Facebook page and said, "Yep, I saw it today." I was like, "Dang, it's out there."
Yeah. It'll blow down, and someone who doesn't check the Facebook page will find it and be like, "Oh, sweet, new disc."
Yeah, it is wedged up there. I will say that disc, if I found it, I would probably return it because it feels so weird, and the flight numbers on it are kind of weird.
Yeah.
It's a 76-22, and just like feeling it, I'm like, I wouldn't throw this. I'll return it.
Yeah.
If I were that guy, that's what I would do. But
yeah,
so I'm hoping it'll get back to me. It doesn't have my name or number, so we'll see.
Yeah, perfect.
And then I got this pine from the tournament, which is kind of fun. So I threw this a couple times, just practicing between rounds 1 and 2. I went back to a hole and wanted to fix my mistake on that hole. So I threw this just for fun, and it's not overstable, but it's stable for sure.
Yeah.
And so I could throw it on Anheuser and it would kind of flex slowly. Out. Yeah. So it's fun disc to throw. It actually feels really good. I believe this is in gold line.
Nice.
It's a very pretty disc. So it's fun.
Cool.
That's what sparked my disc choice for the dealer's choice today.
Nice. Anything you're working on for this upcoming week? 2-minute drill?
I will wait until next week to give spoiler, or to not give spoiler as to what I will be working on and a change that will be coming in my bag.
Perfect.
But I do get to play some disc golf tomorrow, and I'm just going to focus on having fun and trying to just enjoy playing around on the 4th of July and just enjoying the mountains. So
yeah,
that's what I'm working on this week, is just having fun.
Good. Yeah. I know when we get to we're not even to a high level, but like when we get to our level, we sometimes take it too seriously and we're too critical of ourselves, and we need to kind of remember,
especially me,
how far we have come, why we enjoy playing it, and to just kind of just enjoy the time you get to be out in nature, being active, doing something you like, and playing a sport that brings a lot of joy to other people. So I do think people need to just get out there for the fun of it, not just for the competition. And I think I sometimes forget that too. And it's like, I need to go out, practice this. I need to go out, practice this. It's like, sometimes you just should go out there to throw some frisbees, try some fun new shots, try that Simon line, you know, and it might not make you might not think it's making you better, but in a tournament round and this one weird shot is presenting itself, you're like, oh, I remember I tried that at the field once with this disc and it kind of worked out. Like, let me see how it works, and you could pull it off. So
100%. Like tomorrow I'm playing Bear Mountain, which is this not gimmicky, but it's somebody's private property, and some of the holes are designed to be kind of like a fun aspect hole. So not necessarily built for challenge or built for major tournaments or anything like that, but just kind of being a fun, like, home property course that they've turned into actually a very nice course. And so I'm going to obviously keep my score for my first throw, but throw multiples because that's what's fun. And I'm going to throw the line that I think is like the fun line that I want to throw, like a higher percentage, but maybe not necessarily the highest percentage, but what line seems like the most fun.
Yeah. And
I'm going to record a bunch of shots and check out my Instagram page for a highlight reel that I'm going to try to post or something.
Perfect. Sounds good.
What about you? Anything you're working on?
No. Just everything.
Okay.
I'm going to work on going out to have fun. you inspired me, so I'm gonna go out there, just have fun, and don't take myself too seriously, for sure.
Fair enough.
So,
Well, shout out to Jesse and Trash Panda and their Dune
yep.
launch this week. Shout out to Lone Star for having us rep the brand and testing out these new discs and seeing how good of players we are throwing discs that we're not
new plastic,
searching the entire disc golf lineup to figure out. So we appreciate those two brands for being supportive of us. And otherwise, I don't have anything left for this week.
No, I'll do it. Everyone stay safe on this 4th of July. Hopefully you didn't lose any fingers. Hold it with your weak hand, not your throwing hand, so you could still play disc golf no matter what happens. But
indeed.
Yeah. Have a good week, everyone. Peace.
Let these out.